Hello and welcome. Today we're diving deep into the dark arts of deception. We're going to connect a pretty shocking 400-year-old royal scandal to the manipulative tactics we still see every single day. What we'll do is uncover a timeless playbook for manipulation, and you'll see the tools might change, but the game, it really does remain the same. So let's start our story in the Jacobean court of King James I. Just imagine a world absolutely buzzing with ambition, intrigue, and, in this particular case, a lethal cocktail of poison, power, and forbidden love. Now, let's just jump 400 years forward to our time. Picture a totally different kind of deception, a modern online romance scam, where these really carefully crafted lies are used to exploit someone's trust and, completely empty their bank account. So you've got a royal murder and a digital con. I mean, they're separated by 4 centuries, completely different technologies, different worlds. So what could they possibly have in common? Well, as it turns out, almost everything. The core tactics of manipulation haven't changed at all. Let's dig into that a little. This quote from a 1941 court case just nails it, doesn't it? Deception isn't some new invention, it just adapts. The fundamental tools that manipulators use are timeless because they prey on our most basic human emotions: trust, fear, and of course, desire. The methods evolve, but the strategy is identical. The poison and those scandalous pamphlets from back then, they've just become the fake profiles and gaslighting of today. Secret letters are now phishing emails. The playbook is exactly the same, it's just the tools that have gotten a digital upgrade. Okay, so let's get into our first case study, the Overbury Affair. This is a wild, true story of sex, ambition, and murder that really exposed the dark underbelly of King James I's court and had the entire nation completely captivated. So this timeline really breaks down the whole conspiracy. It all kicks off in 1612 when Sir Thomas Overbury gets in the way of a really powerful couple. By 1613, he's silenced. First, he's thrown in the Tower of London, and then he's silenced permanently with poison. But the story doesn't stop there. When the whole plot was uncovered 2 years later, the trials became the biggest news of the era, and the king's decision to pardon the main conspirators, well, that ended up seriously damaging his own reputation. So how did news about all this get out? Well, it spread through these short, scandalous poems called libels, just like this one. People passed them from hand to hand, they were sung in taverns, they basically worked like today's viral, reputation-destroying memes. They took all this complex court drama and just boiled it down into these biting, unforgettable insults. Okay, now that we have the story, let's kind of zoom out and actually define the playbook. We're going to look at 3 key psychological tactics that are absolutely central to the art of manipulation, both back in the 17th century and right now. First up is gaslighting. Now, the term might feel modern, but trust me, the tactic is ancient. It's all about making the victim doubt their own mind. You've heard the phrases, "that never happened." You're just imagining things. You're being too sensitive. By twisting reality, the manipulator makes their victim dependent on their version of the truth, and that gives them an incredible amount of power.
Next, we've got something called the paradoxical defense. And this one is, well, it's a bold move. Think about a partner who's cheating, but is constantly accusing you of being unfaithful. What they're doing is creating chaos. They put you on the defensive, right? So you're busy trying to prove your innocence while their own guilt just flies under the radar. It's a brilliant, if terrible, psychological smokescreen.
And finally, there's the norm of reciprocity. This is a deep, fundamental social instinct we all have. If someone does you a favor, you feel this natural urge to pay it back. It's kind of the glue that holds society together. But manipulators weaponize this. They'll give you an unsolicited gift or favor to make you feel like you owe them, trapping you into doing what they want later on. So here's the really crucial point. When you start combining these ideas with other common tactics, like pretending to be a friend, hiding key information, or using fear, what you get is a powerful playbook for deception. These aren't just isolated tricks. They're part of a coordinated strategy designed to gain control. Okay, let's go back to the 17th century. Now that we're armed with our modern playbook, we can see the Overbury Affair as more than just a historical drama. It's actually a masterclass in psychological manipulation. Look at this. This slide just perfectly connects the past to the present. To get out of her first marriage, Frances Howard's crew didn't just say, "Hey, this isn't working." Oh no. They spread this story that her husband was impotent, but get this, only with her, and that it was because of witchcraft. This is a textbook case of creating doubt and shifting blame. It made him the problem, the one who is cursed, and it completely deflected from the simple fact that she just wanted to marry someone else.
And what about Robert Carr?
This guy came from basically nowhere to become the most powerful man in the kingdom, besides the king himself. How did he do it? By becoming a master of weaponized reciprocity. He showered his allies with jobs, titles, money, you name it. But this wasn't just him being generous, it was a strategy. He created this whole web of people who owed him everything, which made it nearly impossible for them to challenge him when he and his wife decided to, murder someone in the tower.
Right, let's fast forward to today and see how this very same playbook is still being used, page for page, and often with absolutely devastating results.
Now, let's think about the modern version of these old courtly schemes. It might not involve castles and kings anymore, but the emotional and financial ruin can be just as profound, if not more so.
Just look at this number, $2.3 million. That's how much a single man was convicted of stealing through a modern romance fraud scheme. Just like those court plots of the past, he used a calculated plan of manipulation to gain his victims' trust before absolutely destroying them, both emotionally and financially. The weapons have changed, but that cold, calculated intent to cause harm, that hasn't changed a bit.
And right here, you can see that modern playbook in action. It always starts with the friendship trick. They build that trust. Then comes selective information. They control the story. A lot of the time, the scammer will try to isolate the victim from friends or family, anyone who might smell a rat. And then finally, they spring the fear trap, a fake emergency that needs an immediate wire transfer. It's the same timeless pattern. Exploit trust, control the narrative, and weaponize emotion. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Why should a 400-year-old murder mystery matter to you today? Well, because it proves that while our technology changes like crazy, human behavior and human vulnerability, they stay pretty constant. And this brings us to the most important question of all. If these tactics are so timeless, so hardwired into our psychology, are we just doomed to keep falling for them? How do we even begin to defend ourselves? The answer is actually pretty simple. The single best defense is awareness. It's about recognizing the game as it's being played. Once you understand the playbook, once you can spot someone trying to create doubt or exploit that feeling of reciprocity or shift blame, their power over you just shrinks dramatically. Awareness, really, is your shield.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you've seen the manipulator's playbook, what games might be going on around you that maybe you never noticed before? Recognizing the pattern is the first step to breaking it and to protecting yourself from the timeless art of deception. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.